What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how I installed a trolling motor on my Bonafide SS127 kayak and explain to you everything that you need in order to get this project done. Before I start the video, I'm going to go ahead and let you know this is going to require 2 people. At least it helped me out a lot having 2 people do it. Not saying you can't do it by yourself, but having that extra person is going to help you a lot when it comes to doing certain things. So with that being said, let's get the video started. The first thing that you're going to do is head to your local neighborhood Lowe's. They have everything that you need there to complete this project. I'm going to list all the parts and pieces needed to complete this project below, but in the meantime, here's some video clips of me getting those pieces. The first item on the list that you're going to need is a split ring hanger, 3/4 of an inch. You're going to need 2 of these because you have to basically separate them and then you have to combine the 2 ends from each package and make one piece that actually goes together. A little confusing right now, but you'll understand in a little bit. Next, you need to find the eye bolt. You need 2 3/8 of an inch eye bolts. These are what you're going to use to screw into the split ring hanger, and these are basically going to be your steering on the trolling motor. Next, you're going to need some nuts and bolts. I'm probably saying this completely wrong, but the size that you need are 10/24 by 1 inch. That's the bolt, and then you need the 10/24 lock nuts as well. I got stainless steel just because I know I'm going to be around water and weather, so I would recommend doing the same. Next, you're going to want to find the cable and get 22 feet of it. The size that I got was 3/32 of an inch, and then right above the cable, you're going to see the furl and stop kits. These are what you're going to want to crimp onto the cable to stop the cable from sliding back through the back of the pedal when you connect the steering. The last thing that you need are 2 carabiners. The size that I got were 5/16 of an inch. My total for everything was around $20, minus the trolling motor, which I had already purchased previously. I got a $100 trolling motor from Bass Pro. It's a 30-pound thrust mini Coda, and it scoots this thing right along just fine. Let's backtrack a little bit and talk about the trolling motor mounting bracket. I made this from plywood and 2x4s. I cut 2 2x4s at 10 inches, screwed them together, and then I cut a piece of plywood at 10 inches by 13 inches. I centered the plywood on the back of the Bonafide Kayak where the Anchor Wizard or stick-it pin mounts are, centered it up, found my holes, pre-drilled through the holes, made the plate to where it would fit with the holes that were already there. The first thing you want to do is assemble your split ring hanger. Take out the 2 pieces that you need. I had to use a drill and bore out one side of the split ring hanger to get the bolt to go all the way through because of the diameter of the trolling motor and the angles not lining up of the hole. So when I bored it out, it allowed the screws to go through nice and easy. Next, you want to find your lock nuts, put those on the bolts, and then begin to tighten them as tight as you can. You don't want the split ring hanger to be loose. Get it as tight as you can get it without stripping the bolt. After that, find your eye bolts and screw them into place. Hand tighten them as far as you can. Get a screwdriver and tighten it as tight as you can get it without stripping the eye bolts. Next, you're going to want to mark the center of your 22-foot cable. I did this by using electrical tape for 2 purposes. 1, it gives you a mark of where to cut, and 2, it keeps the wire from fraying whenever you cut it. I had to use bolt cutters to cut the wire. Next, you are going to want to locate these 4 red marked spots. These are where you're going to pre-drill for your steering cable to slide through. There's 2 in the back and there's 2 in the front right behind the pedals. Next, you're going to want to grab one end of your cable, slide it through your ferrule, and create a loop. Find a pair of pliers and crimp down on the ferrule, creating a loop. This is where you're going to connect the carabiner to the eye bolt. Repeat that step to the other cable and connect the other cable to the eye bolt as well. Next, you're going to want to take each cable, the right and left, and feed through the hole that you drilled in the back of the kayak. We used a telescoping magnet to help grab the cable. We accessed the inside of the kayak for the front hatch, grabbed the cable with the magnet, and pulled it through the front. This was probably the trickiest part of the whole project, feeding the cable through the front hole that you drilled behind the pedal. There's already a pre-drilled hole at the top of the pedal. My cable would not fit through, so I had to disassemble the track, slide the pedal off, and bore out the hole a little bit bigger so that the cable would slide through. I would recommend greasing the back side of the pedal. This lets the pedal slide a lot easier inside the track when you're steering the kayak. I use marine grease. Slide the pedal back in and secure the track back to its original place. Wipe off any excess grease to prevent from getting everywhere. Next, you are going to want to center your pedals inside of the track. The track is 15.5 inches long, then half of that is 7 3/4. Make a mark with a Sharpie so that you know where the center of the track is. Make sure that the trolling motor is facing straight and there's no slack in the cables. Slide your ferrule stop on the cable to the back side of the pedal. Center the ferrule at the center point on the track that you marked with the Sharpie and crimp. Repeat this step on the opposite pedal. The project's pretty much complete at this point. Test the pedals and make sure that they're sliding inside of the tracks nice and smooth. After you trim your excess cable, you're pretty much complete and ready to hit the water. Got him. Woo! Man, what a fish, boys and girls. That is a stud.